From today, schools in England are going to be able to ban mobile phones in schools in a bid to curb bad behaviour and bring more discipline and less distraction to the classroom.
Let's speak to former head teacher and chairman of the Campaign for Real Education, Chris McGovern. Chris, good morning. This, just very briefly, is something that you've already brought into your school. I think lots of people this morning asking, how does that work? Is it just during breaks? Do they leave it in a locker? They're talking about the security side of it. But the big issue people are saying is cyberbullying and all that. So tell us what you did and whether it worked for kids, Chris.
Well, first of all, Jeremy, I did it 15 years ago, so that's a long time ago. The government are a bit behind the curve. They're very slow learners. We had a problem, actually, in North London because we had children being mugged coming to school, carrying their mobile phones. They're being mugged for their phones. So that was a problem. We found that some children were using mobile phones to film teachers. Now, I have to say it was a very good school, very well-disciplined school. We acted very quickly. What we did was to simply say you may not bring the mobile phone beyond the school office. So if the parents insist there has to be a mobile phone brought to school because maybe they've got to stay in contact, you can leave it at the school office. Now, that was 15 years ago. We welcome what's happened today, the government saying schools have the powers to ban mobile phones, etc. But it's very late, you know. The damage caused to children by mobile technology, when it's misused, is considerable. It's 10 years ago that a world-leading brain scientist, Baroness Greenfield, a Brit, produced a book, and I've got it here. I don't know if you can see it. It was called Mind Change. We hear a lot about climate change. The mobile technology is damaging the brains of children, as she pointed out in the book. So, look, 3 cheers or 2 cheers for the Education Secretary. It's a bit late, though, isn't it?
And also, Rosie, you picked this story out this morning, and it's absolutely right, but one wonders whether it's another cynical attempt in February ahead of an election to do something that people have been clamouring about, as Chris says, for 15 years. That's the issue, isn't it?
Yeah, well, Jonathan's in the studio. Look, ultimately, as we just heard from Chris, if head teachers wanted to impose a policy like this, they can already have done it. Maybe it's just some crafty managing of expectations from the Conservatives.
Yeah, it could be. And we could endlessly debate about the motivation. But as Chris has said, what's the important thing here? It's about protecting children from something which is quite addictive. We're still getting used to it. And I think it's rather nice that I heard another interview with another head teacher. They don't take the phones away. They put the onus and the responsibility on the child to turn them off, put them in the bottom of their bags and not use them during the school day.
Though, isn't it?
No, it does happen. It does work, Jeremy. It works in that school. And that says, yes, there are good reasons why you might have a phone.
Yep.
And they can be useful in emergencies. For example, if you have a whiteout and the school has to close, it's another good way of getting through to
But you
parents.
wouldn't need it during the day, would you?
But you don't need it during the day. And the responsibility then, and that's really important, children taking responsibility, saying, yeah, it's in my bag. I'm not going to use it. And there are sanctions if they do use it.
Yeah.
So there's a two-way process. Now, we're all getting used to mobile phones. I mean, they are such a relatively new innovation. We don't know the long-term impact other than they're probably not terribly good for socialising for children. And if you take them out of
Your self-esteem is clearly, it can be absolutely crippling. Chris, I just want to ask you while you're here, the opposition to policies like this, where does it come from? Is it from the teenagers themselves, their parents? Who has the most issue with it?
Well, believe it or not, there are some naughty children out there who do nasty things with phones, and are really quite clever at doing that. On the whole, our Campaign for Real Education has been a bit of a lone voice in saying we should be restricting the use of mobile technology in schools. And even today, we've had some of the teacher unions saying, well, there's no problem at all. What's the problem? There isn't a problem. In fact, I'm inclined to, even when mobile phones are used in the classroom for teaching purposes, they are sometimes, I'm inclined to say it's like educational cocaine. They are addictive, and they are affecting the mental well-being of children. Used sensibly, digital technology is a bonus, but in very successful education systems around the world and stable societies, there are very strict restrictions on the use of technology, mobile technology in schools. You go to Singapore, you go to Shanghai, you go to Tokyo, you go to Taiwan and places, there are pretty strict restrictions, very strong restrictions on the use of mobile technology. So, you know, a lot of children, though, themselves would say they're getting bullied. And children, there are naughty, pretty bad children out there. They will bully others. So we have to protect the children. Children come first. And actually, it doesn't really help learning. So I applaud what the government have done today. And as I say, it's better late than never.
Chris, just to finish, we talk about parents, we talk about, Jonathan was saying, responsibility of the kids. Rosie and I were talking earlier. Surely the big tech companies need to take some responsibility as well. There's too many examples, are there not, of kids being bullied, of kids downloading all sorts of terrible things. Do you not think the government should be talking to high-tech companies and making perhaps this stuff unavailable to kids of a certain age? Do you not think that's their responsibility?
Jeremy, you're making an incredibly important point. But let me tell you something. Maybe you didn't know this. It was reported in the Sunday Times a few years ago. Go to California, go to Silicon Valley, go to the place where the billionaire computer bosses live, and they are increasingly sending their own children to what are called Waldorf schools, which ban technology, which ban the digital technology. Now, if the drug pushers banning the technology for their own kids, you can bet your life they know the damage it can cause. So, yes, you know, we do need to get at the tech companies. Their own bosses are not using the technology for their own kids. They're sending them to schools, Waldorf schools, which don't use that technology. That says it all you need to know, really.
Really interesting. Chris, really, really appreciate you being on. And JH, as ever, legendary.
Oh, thank you.